subclauses with them big companies, and you'll be signing a 20-page contract. With us, it's 1 page. That's that. There's no hidden nothing. We're not scammers. You know, we're out there to make a buck. I don't give two shits about the big boys. Simple as that. And yeah, like, we're as straight as we can be. You ask us questions, we'll tell you straight the answers. There's cheap ways and they're effective, and there's expensive ways and they're effective, you know. And like it all comes back to quality of the product. If you want a cheap product, well, as they say, cheap and nasty, you know. You're going to get a cheap product. You're going to get a product, of course, it's going to work. I'm going to guarantee it for 5 years. But you're going to vac your house for 24 hours, and when you come back, that smell might hang around for 5 more after that. So, yeah, she's a potent chemical. She does work, guaranteed. But, you know, she's safe. As long as you don't go tampering with the soil, she's totally safe when she's dry. Totally safe to you if you don't go down there playing in the soil. Being under the house and underneath the foundations is virtually impossible for a kiddie to get to. So, provided you haven't got children that are digging in the gardens that are right up adjacent to the house, you would never have a problem with that type of product. If you have got little children that dig and dig and dig around on places like that, you're up for some decent money for the barrier. The barrier is going to have to be one of the new products like Termites, there's a few others. And they work on a transfer effect, just basically transferring thing in the gut that goes all its way back to the queen. Once the queen dies, the colony dies off. It's just, mate, everything's dependent on the queen. Doesn't matter what species, everything depends on that queen. When the queen dies, everything goes to hell. And by the time she's dead, 90% of workers will be dead from the same thing. So they have backup queens, they've got backup kings. No, they're useless because they've all been tasting the same stuff. So everyone's dead. So yeah, it's a highly effective way of doing it. But price-wise, with the big boys, they charge thousands. That job's worth thousands. Like, yeah, at least 5,000 plus. And the callbacks, you're going to get at least 3-4 callbacks on rebatings. So you're looking at another $2,000, $3,000, maybe $4,000 all up. So you're looking at a $10,000 job. Whether they say it in the beginning or not, it'll cost around 10 grand. That's it. With us, if we've done a baiting system around your house, we'll put the actual timbers in to attract them to. We'll put the attractants in, and the big companies, that's all they do. Once the baits are attacked, when they come back for their first $300 off you in the contract for inspecting everything, inspecting the whole house, and then inspecting the stations. Well, if there's a problem, they'll see the nibbling at the bait station, and then they're going to charge you so many hundred to bait that station. We don't do that. We bait the stations. That's it. We put them in, we load them, we put timbers in that have already been tasted, and then we put our bait product behind it. The product itself, highly effective, it's dynamite. I prefer the old way of putting an external perimeter treatment around a house and spraying the subfloor. But the way of the future is these baiting stations. It's just like no 10,000 drill holes all over the place around the property in your concrete that we've got to plug up, and normally you can't match the colours. It's almost impossible. If you've got tiles, sometimes we can't crack the tiles up. We have to drill through them, broken tiles. So there's pros and cons. Baiting will cost you extra in a couple of ways, even with us. Like if you ring us, we've got to check the baiting stations every 3 months, right? So that's as simple as that. The callback fee on a baiting station with us is only $60. We're going to come out, check the baiting stations around the perimeter, and $60, that's it. If we have to bait that station, we're going to charge you $100, not $200, $300, $400 to bait the station. And we're probably going to go around, if there's no bait in the other stations, we'll rebait them too. But remember, they were already baited when we've put them in. So there's a good chance when you paid that $60 and we've come out and had a look, the job's already been solved, love. They've taken it back to the nest, and it's all done its job. That's where we are beneficial compared to other companies. That's about all I can say about that, without running anyone down. Like everyone's got their ways when it comes to termites, and you can't learn it from a book. We're told that at tech, it's experience, and that's that. And I was very lucky to get taught by the best. And when I was in tech, when I went back to become a timber pest inspector, I was extremely lucky to be involved with the man that was actually in control of the safety margins and stuff that are placed on the back of all sort of labelling on Bayer products. So he was one of the big boys. a brilliant man, brilliant mind, and yeah, we had many a debate on many different products. So yeah, I was very lucky that way. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I took in a lot from the elders, and I'm not a stickler for staying to the old ways. I'll sit back for 4 or 5 years on some of the products I'm wary of and let other people use them and then wait for feedback, because I'm one that's very wary of like carcinogens. I know that a lot of products, if I'll kill a bug, there's a good chance they're going to have some effect on us later. So I'll always sit back to just see what happens. Always. I've got 6 kids, and if I'm going to use a product in my home, it'll be in your home as well. So that's a guarantee. There's no shortcuts. If it's a product that's safe enough to use in my home, it's the products that'll be in your home, and that's it. That's it. If you want volatile products, there are still plenty available out there that haven't been banned. They will be banned in another 2 or 3 years. I know that for a fact. Go right ahead. You know, if you want to, you'll see them drop like flies around the house. But I can assure you that they're not good products, and they're very high residual. They're not going to the residue is going to be there for so many years. It's not right. You know, the stuff we use is made from pyrethroids and pyrethrin flowers. Sure, you might have to do the house every 6 to 12 months. Most customers have got to do it every 6 months. So it's up to you. But some people are extremely fastidious in the house. They don't need it more than once a year. But as I say, I'll leave that up to the client. How many times a year they want to do it. Once we see pest pressure there, I do start to pressure the customer for 6 monthly visits there. That's it. Customers pay average $220 to $320 for general treatment at most places. Some will pay a little bit more. You'll see plenty of flies with $99 bullshit on them. If you read it carefully, it'll always be for 1, 2 or 3 pests or some sort of crap involved, and extra for everything. So, you know, there's a lot of pros and cons. The only couple of things you should never have to pay extra for are, like, if someone comes out to do a roach treatment, German roach should be covered. And that's the way I see it, you know. You can't say to them, well, it's another extra $150 because you got German cockroaches. It don't work that way. With German roaches, they're very hard to eradicate. Some companies won't give you any warranty whatsoever. With us, we'll give the place a hit. If it's a major infestation, we'll put in that we're going to give you a second treatment at a set rate. And if there's any left after that, we'll get rid of them maybe at no charge. Depending on how bad the problem is, we're going to have to sort that out with the customer. That's just been straight up. I've been to places where they're that bad, like the customers told me, oh, they disappeared this year. Well, I've been in the game a long time. They've been there for maybe 10 years and just let them go crazy, and now they must be crawling into their ears and stuff when they're asleep. I thought, heads up to ladies and gents, they love the earwax and stuff, so they do crawl into your ears, and they can't crawl backwards. So if one dies in your ear, you just lost your hearing in that ear, because you're going to get an infection by the time they realise it's in there. And yeah, you won't forget the old German cockroach. I'm not trying to scare you, but that's how it is. Back to termites anyway. Average termite price with us, you're looking at about $3,500, and that's with cash. We don't take checks, so I just can't be bothered with the bullshit with the check. We're pretty straight up with everything that we do, so we expect the same from our customers, and all of our customers, they're perfect, you know. They're like family. They've been with us that long. I class them as friends. They're in my phone as friend contacts, not clients. Simple as that. They're all lovely people. We get on very well. You know, I'll always do anything extra. I'll always do that extra bit if they've asked me for it. That's not an extra dollar for everything. You know, it's only if it's required. Like wasps, bees. You might have really bad funnel webs, things like that. Or a location or something like a possum. Well, obviously I'm gonna have to charge extra for something like that. But simple things like can you just dust a bit of ants or something? Well, there's an extra 100, 150 normally for others. If it's a simple part of the job, we're just going to give them a hit. We're not charging you. If it's a major infestation and they're all over the place and we've got 50 nests to hit, obviously we're going to have to charge for product. That's about all you'll be getting charged for on the day. So, you know, as fair as I can be. And incidentally, the ant and the termite are not related. Believe it or not, the termite is related to the German cockroach. They've been evolving for millions and millions of years. They're highly intelligent. They can think. They can communicate via pheromones and by touch, I reckon, anyway. Well, scientists probably go telling you I'm an idiot. but I'm pretty sure that they can